Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Let me know if you can see and hear me okay. Got a little bit of a challenge with the angle of this, but I guess okay now. All right. So let's see what we have here. We have Alex likes the beat before we go live. Thank you for that. Orlando is here. Hello, Orlando. And Alex says, yeah, you can hear. Okay, so good. And Holy Scheisse is here from Germany in Deutschland. So, wie geht's heute? Scheiße. Come on, change that bloody name. And then we have Mind at Six. Mehran is here. Miriana from Maldives. Maldive? Is it? No, probably Maldive. I guess in English, many words are mispronounced because of I in there instead of, let's say, for example, many people call Iran Iran. I wonder, I used to say, I'm sorry, who ran? So Maldive is probably the name. And we have Savvy Gravy. Savvy Gravy. This is good day, good day. All right. Let's see what we have here as far as the questions goes. Now we have greeted everybody. We have Orlando Osuma. Orlando Osuna says 45 Albuquerque, New Mexico, USA. Thank you for that. Says, hi, Meran. After breaking up with my ex, I have been dating. Good. Met a very cute girl. We hit it off well. She was texting me a lot and being very affectionate. I told her I like her and she has been distant. Why do women do this? I'm pulling back to see how she reacts. Well, I had a video, Orlando, on this topic just a few days ago. Let me see if I can find that for you here. More elaborate in explanation than what I can do here in a few minutes. The title of it is Why Often Women Break Up for No Reason, but Will Give You a Reason. And I think that would hit it right in the head for you as far as the topic is concerned. Here's the topic, here's the link for you, but I will explain just briefly. You see, we men mostly see women as perfect. When we see their looks and their body, their fitness level, their smile, their hair, or something that we like about them aesthetically, we bestow upon them all other credentials and credits and qualifications and things that we hope a perfect woman, in our view, would need to have. Regardless if she actually demonstrates any of those qualities that we give it to her in our own mind, we just give it to her. We assume she has it. And for that reason, and since we are driven by our hormones, we can't necessarily feel right to play game when we are wholesome and we are decent people. We express our emotion, which is mostly 99.9% is a sexual emotion, and we're turned on by them. So we express it. We express it because we think it's sexy, like it turns us on to express our turn on to some woman who's interested in us, and we have the consent to interact with her in that level. So we say it because it feels good. We say it because it's a turn on, just hearing ourselves saying, expressing our interest, intimate interest in her. And at the same time, we're honest. We just say it because we feel it is important to be honest. So we express that emotion. Now, looking at the woman's point of view, most women are not confident. We may not be confident, but most women are less confident than we know them to be. And they're less confident than most of us are. But we don't see in that because we think they're pretty, therefore, we think they have all the reasons to have more to offer than we do because we're turned on by our desires for pleasure. And desire for pleasure is the most sought after thing in life, pleasure. So when we see that woman possesses the things that turns us on, which is towards pleasure, then we think of her as highly valuable. And because we think of her highly valuable, we think of ourselves contrary to that, that we may not be as qualified or valuable to attract her attention and her favors. So, anyhow, I lost the train of my thought, but what I wanted to say that is that most women are not confident despite the fact that we think they are because they're beautiful. And because they're not confident, they're looking to be evaluated or valued or appreciated by the attention they receive from us. And when they get that attention, they feel somewhat valuable, yet that doesn't last them too long because they seem to have certain kind of a OCD, like they gotta be sure of that. And since they doubt themselves, they doubt that value that they just felt because of our attention towards them, they want to be evaluated again. They want to be assured again. They're constantly seeking assurance, just like an OCD brain who's constantly seeking assurance. Did I lock the door? Let me check it again. Did I wash my hands? My hands are dirty. I washed it, but let's wash again. They're not sure. They want to make certain. And that is, French call it doubting disease. Most women have this doubting disease in their values. Therefore, they're seeking that assurance all through their lives unless they fix that glitch. And because of that, when you pay them attention, as long as they don't know that you have their full attention and you're really into them, they pursue you because they're seeking that validation. They're looking for that assurance that they're valuable because they're not sure themselves. They're not so confident. So they come at you. They come at you with lots of finesse and beauty and skillfulness, and whether they're intended or not, but it's their nature. They make us tick. They make us pay attention to them when they smile at us or pay attention to us. So they offer that attention in pursuit of being evaluated and valued and receive that attention that they're seeking to be sure about themselves and their confidence and their importance and so on. Once they receive that, because they have that doubting disease, even though they receive that valuation, that attention from us, and we express our emotions to them that I like you, or you may go all out, and because it's lustful, and the word love and lust is interchangeable in such settings, especially in the outset of the relationship, you may actually say you love them. And the fact that you say you love them or you like them, I'm really into you, I really adore you, and you express all those intimate words, they feel good momentarily, but immediately now that they've received it, they feel there is no more valuation or affirmation that can be received from you from this source. So they now still doubt themselves. Because they still doubt themselves, they pursue another source of valuation, of affirmation. So they leave you because they got what they wanted from you. There's no more there that they can receive. You already told them you love them, you like them, you're into them, you want to be intimate with them, and all that. So it's like they went to a restaurant, they brought the best food for them, they ate it, but they're still hungry. So they will leave that table, they go to another table, they go to another restaurant because their hunger is not satisfied. It's like having a little bit of a problem in their digestive system. It's never satisfied. So you give them that kudos, valuation, affirmation, then they get that from you. They feel since they got it from you, you're no longer a credible source to make them be sure of their confidence level. So they now leave you to another entity to get validation and affirmation and attention from that person. So they will feel good about themselves then. So, in other words, it's like a 12-cylinder car. You put a gallon of gas in there, it just revs for you, and that's it. Now they want more because they can't move without any more. They're high maintenance as far as emotional support is concerned, and they're very less and lack confidence in themselves. And that kind of a woman is really, you won't know until you actually express your emotions towards them and you see how they react, how well they can be custodian of your emotions, of the very valuable commodity that you offer them, which is your emotion and attention. So it is not on you, it's on them, and due to the lack of confidence that they have. So they go to the next person to get that affirmation. And then when they get that assurance that they feel good about themselves because that person also pays attention to them, then they have to go to another because that's how they feel confident. It's their own survival, and it's a glitch in their brain, and there is nothing you can do about it. So, nothing to do with you. And they usually are the kind of people who are attracted to something that they cannot have. Once they have it, since they lack confidence in themselves, they say, well, if I can have this, it must not be a real good thing because I don't think I'm really that good, that hot, or that valuable. So if this thing can pay attention to me, it must not be of so good quality. I got to try another source to see if I'm still really as good as this one says. So they're constantly trying to assure themselves and get different affirmations and so on. It's like the old saying of, I don't like to belong to a club that takes me as a member. Hmm? I don't like to belong to a club that takes me as a member, which comes from the lack of confidence in themselves. So they say, if a club is so low standards that takes me as a member, even me as a member, they must not be a good club. It's not that the club is not good, it's because they don't think they're good enough. So they reflect that on the value of the entity that adores them or accepts them or qualifies them. So that's what you're facing with. So on that kind of a woman, you just simply, once you understand it, you don't express it anymore, or you just sever your relation because it's not a healthy level of relationship. That's all I have to say about that. All right, let's go to Holy Scheiße. Just one moment, please, guys. All right. So we have Holy Jaisa says, try to forget and avoid it. Who are you talking to? There must be another one before this. It's second part of your. Hmm? Just try to forget and avoid it. The more intense the pain gets, it's like there is still a connection. I can feel her. My intuition changed since 1 week, and I feel something happened, and she's coming back. Are you? Is it the second part of your question, or there is a first part, or you just having a creative writing episode? Anyhow, stop thinking about it. If she comes back, then you'll deal with it. If she doesn't, doesn't. But don't have your brain trying to remain active on this topic. She left. She left. Good riddance. Bye bye. If she comes back, then you'll assess if you see if it's up to your standards and you want to go through that again or not. But no sense of thinking what she's doing or what she intends to do. You feel it, she comes back and all that. You could be feeling anything, it doesn't mean anything. Often you feel like something is itching, yeah? And you feel there's an ant crawling up you, so there's nothing here. So it could be just a sensation, it could be just because you're thinking about it, it's just because you're, I don't know, you're missing her or you're whatever. So don't pay attention to these thoughts. Do your life, do your things, do your regular living, enjoy your life, and you'll have other opportunities open up and interact with that. And then you assess whatever seems to be suitable and appropriate, whether a new friend or she comes back and you'll have a conversation with her and see if it's satisfactory to you or not. Otherwise, these illusions or these um, things you conjure up is just futile, waste of time and energy. And Mind That Seeks Mehran says, hello, Mehran. This is Miriana, 37-year-old female from Maldives. Update on every all-time non-stop smoking stop husband. Yes, 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 yes. Says now no more stogies, but all-time me smell cigarette progress at least. No, yeah, it's progress, but the smell, maybe your husband is no longer smoking them, but all the walls and clothing and his system still carries that smell. Maybe his teeth, his mouth is all under that still smell, so you may smell it. And obviously he probably still smokes it outside, even not, maybe not inside the house, but so his clothing, himself, I don't know, his hair, whatever is still you can smell it. But if it's cigarettes and not cigars, it could be a mistake in smelling, or it could be maybe he's s- smoking cigarette to compensate for the number of cigars he used to smoke now that he's limited. So who knows? But at least it's a progress, and that's good for you. I bet you discussed that with him intelligently, and maybe you shared some of the things that we talked about on the live stream. So good job. Communication is the key. Try to help him to see things from your point of view, and help him to see, you try to see things from his point of view, and then try to help him to see things from your point of view, and then both of you can see the whole picture of the situation in entirety, and then together come to a conclusion that is amicable and workable for both of you. All right. Meanwhile, back in the ranch, and Holy Merde, Holy Scheisse says it's international language. You know, we can say shit in all different languages. Shit, merde, Scheisse. Um, Holy Scheisse says, but I don't know if my gut is right or it's just my mind trying to not to let go. Yeah, the second one. My gut was sadly right quite a lot. Yeah, you know, let go your gut. And Pritha Barua says, hello, Mehran, male 33 India. Hello, thank you for that. And Orlando says, gracias, senor. De nada, I guess that's the, or doy di hambre. Huh? Which one is the right one? De nada or doy di hambre? All right. Now we have Ayushman Seth. Ooh, Ayushman. Are you the same Ayushman or a different one? Because 10 years ago, we had a client, I mean, one of the subscribers, Ayushman, used to comment and ask questions and says, I guess you're 23. Then it's not you. Says, hello, sir. I'm 23 in India. My question is casual relationship or serious relationship, which is better since mostly it's just ends, breakup happens at the end. And says, my second question, the one which is bothering me the most is my ex, now 20. We supported each other in many hard situations. Hers was health issues, mine was financial and mother's health issue. We supported and loved each other for almost 3 years, but she could not meet much 4 to 5 times throughout the relationship. But she keep promised that she will make things right. And I always gave her honesty and place to negotiate. So I always said, if you can't make things right, meet up more frequently. Don't bother. I won't hate you. I always wish good for you. But she kept saying, I only want you, etc., dramas and all. But for the beginning of this year, I was more clear on the meat demands. So fight were frequently. I broke up. She called for patch. I told her how much I value her. She said she will think of way to solve it. But after that, she became cold-hearted. And irony is, she acted at the time of breakup like I was the one for is the only one mad in love. It all started when, okay, I'm losing the flow of the story. Started all when she started preparing for college. It's been 3 months since breakup. Now, what should I think about the whole situation? As she was the one mostly who tried extreme stuff to do patch, like begging, crying, and now she acted that I was the only one who couldn't live without her. Please reply. Say, I really don't know what you're looking for because there's so many things here. I mean, for 3 years, that means she was 17 and you were 20. You were more mature at the time, and of course, at the height of your hormones, and you wanted more personal or physical contact and doing things together and seeing each other. And she was just 17, and she perhaps didn't have that autonomy to meet with you, or wasn't capable, wasn't possible due to her health, maybe, that you said it was a challenge. And you were impatient, you couldn't help it. And I can understand that, but she also tried, but she couldn't. You didn't. Maybe you didn't try to look at things from her point of view. Maybe she had some certain situations where she couldn't get away, when she couldn't accommodate you, and you considered her mature enough, old enough, autonomous enough, and you were judging her on that basis rather than judging her that she's 17-year-old and she doesn't have all the permissions and autonomy that she wants to have, or perhaps you prefer her to have. And so, and she tried to tell you that she'll try, but you were treating it as very serious, like it's a marriage coming up and you're her husband, or you're the only one that should matter and all that. At that age, that is somewhat maybe a normal for, not normal, but expected from a young man like at your age. So all that caused her to feel that she has to do something, but she wasn't able to in reality. So things didn't turn out the way you wanted it. So you were impatient and you broke up with her. And as you say, she tried. But whether you would have been more patient or accepted to wait and she would maybe make some changes, she was 17. By the time she would go to college, she would eventually change her mind, not because you're not suitable, but because she was not old enough to know exactly much about herself and her life and things that she wants to experience and go through and learn before she commits to a serious relationship. And she would have changed her mind anyhow in order to pursue maybe studies and other friendships and so on and so forth, as any normal human being goes through as they grow up. So it would have probably broken up anyhow, because at that age, she didn't know enough about herself, let alone know what kind of man she wants. And that age, you didn't know enough about yourself, let alone to know what kind of a woman you want. That was your first woman, maybe, or very, first or second. So you were inexperienced and you were hot to trot. You wanted to think of yourself as you have a girlfriend, you have a serious girlfriend, you're going to get married and all that. That's what goes through a mind of a young man at that age. And so you would have changed your mind as well, even if you guys were together. Now that you're 23, even if you meet someone now, you shouldn't be with her more than 1 or 2 years. And after that, you both would again change your minds, because you're still growing and developing, learning about life and experiences and yourself and your psyche, your character and your standards. And then those standards will change as you grow and develop further until you're 28, 29. Then you begin to know a lot about yourself, and you would be more clear about what kind of woman you want, and she would be more clear about what kind of man she wants. That would be a different story. So until age 30, 32, 34, 35, shouldn't even think about any serious relationship, serious as they are. Be gentlemen, be good, be cordial, be fair, be kind, and enjoy yourselves and communicate, bond, try to find things, compatibility on the consciousness level, and see how it goes. That's as serious as it gets. But trying to meet someone at this age and then think that, oh, that's going to be my wife and all that's bullshit. You're just putting yourself into a future hardship by such expectations when it's not yet the right time for it, neither for you nor for her at that age. So take it as serious as a relationship at that age should be, not as serious as your relationship at age 30 with the right woman that you found and you want to get married would be. So I think that would tell you what you want to hear. In other words, just take it easy and enjoy your life, and don't take it too serious at the moment, but see how it goes. Usually at your age and the age of the girls that you find at your age, it's not going to end up being very serious. Of course, it depends on the culture and the pressures that you feel from cultural values, but in general, whether it's cultural or not, you guys are too young and you will change your mind anyhow. So enjoy it for what it is and not what it would be when you are much older and you make a choice. And we have Mind That Seeks Mehran says, why you have gun? You're gonna kill someone might need you to kill non-stop smoking husband. Wish you were my husband. She says, I laugh all long time, day to night. Thank you very much for the compliment. I appreciate that. I have that gun because I like target shooting. And on that day, I was shooting a very strong gun, sniper gun. I think it was Ruger 308. I believe that what it was. And I was zeroing the gun. It was the first time I was shooting with it. So that's why you could see on 10 o'clock on top left corner, there's a bunch together, which is when you're zeroing the gun, you aim for the center, but it hits somewhere else. And then you figure where that is, and then you fix the aiming um, knobs. Or if you don't have it, you just calculate, okay, if I get center, it hits 10 o'clock. So that means I should come down and to the right, the same amount that I should go up and to the left. So I should come down, go to the right, and then hit there. Then it would hit bullseye in the center. So that's what I did. And so that's why you see bunch now right in the center. So it was a successful zeroing the gun, the new gun. I was in the military when I was much younger, after university. And in the military, I was one of the sharpshooters of the team. In 300 yards, out of maximum 30 points, I got 28 points, meaning I put them all in 300 yards, all, pretty much all bullseye. And we had no scope. And I wasn't wearing glasses then either. So I liked that sport. And so I was there with my son that day, and we were trying his new rifle. And later on, the story goes that in the military, I was using G3 German rifles. They're semi-automatic and automatic. So in other words, you could change a lever and it would turn into a machine gun. And otherwise, you would just fire without you having to recock it. And so G3s were very reliable guns, and they had a 7.62 caliber bullets, I think, and they were real good guns. Now, 45 years later, my son gifted me the new version of G3. It's G36, German made. Um, and so he surprised me one day and gifted me that gun because I told him about the story of G3 and my army time to him since his childhood. So when he got into that sport, he found that gun, only one available here in Canada in that store, real German made. And so he bought it for me and it surprised me. So that day, or was it the next day, I think, or a few weeks ago, Again, the same place I tried zeroing that other gun, which I'm still trying to zero. It's a very precise gun and it's a very beautiful gun. So I like that sports and I like talking about it. Like I like talking about horses. Horse is my other passion. So anyhow, thank you very much for the compliment and for the positive energy. Um, I'm certain that you're just meaning it as a compliment, and I appreciate that. We have Stwazi says, "What are your thoughts on online dating now?" Well, online dating is, I don't know, for some people it works, for some people it can't work unless they actually meet each other in person and see how they negotiate life and how they interact with other people in live circumstances. Like if they go for tea or coffee and they're sitting and chatting, if, I don't know, the waiter or waitress comes or some events, they can see the interaction between them and other people and they can assess their energy and their outlook to life much better than just on internet writing some pretty words or expressing certain emotions or points of views, and they always look spiffy and nice maybe on a visually communication, visual communication on, I don't know, Skype or something. So it's not a real way of getting to know someone on online dating unless you have a chance to meet each other and they're from the same city. So there's possibility of interacting on daily basis maybe, rather than a long distance where you can't really see each other and you just see each other for a few minutes maybe on uh, some kind of a face-to-face meeting on internet on the computer, and that entices your uh, sexual interest because they both will look great on that moment, but it's not the real life situation. It's not how you really look all the time or interact all the time. It's a controlled setting. So online dating is like lottery or maybe a game. It's fun maybe to some point, but it's could be surprisingly waste of time and disappointing once you actually get to meet each other. So it's always better to meet in real life and see how you affect each other, how the energies bounce back and forth between the two and react to each other, and then the words and the, I don't know, eye contact and the expressions that you use, and it would impress you guys differently. So if it's the only thing that's available, yeah, but the sooner you meet, the better you can assess each other. Otherwise, it's just a nice way of spending a little bit of time, but in most cases, a waste of time. I know. And Swazi says, and how to stop thinking about your ex when you're with someone new. Well, then you got to come to present moment because you're with someone new. You haven't created a new routine or new activities with that someone new in order to create new routine, which creates new order. And in that new order, discipline of your life, your mind finds security. Until that happens, your mind feeling insecure and can only find security through the order of life that was the way it was when you were with your ex, but now the ex has broken up or the relationship is broken up. So the order has broken up. So the mind cannot find order in the rhythm of your life and it cannot find order with the new friend that you have come to know because you haven't done enough activities to create a routine with her. So therefore, the mind still needs security. So it keeps going into the memory. It doesn't go to the memory to find your ex-girlfriend. It goes into the memory because there is no order in today's life. It's broken. It's not so clear. And you're confused yourself emotionally and with your activities during the day. Everything is not as it used to be. But the brain still looks for security. And the way it finds security is to find the order. And the order doesn't exist in actuality of your life today, but it exists in the memory because it's recorded in the memory 100%. So it goes into the memory to find order, to feel secure. While it finds order and feels secure because the order of the way the things used to be is recorded in your memory. So it finds the order. Everything is the same as it used to be in the memory. But while it's feeling good, your X is there too. When it sees the X as part of the memory of the order, when it's relaxing in there, the prerequisites for desire to be born, which there are a bunch of prerequisites, are also recorded in the form of file in the memory, because at one time those prerequisites were met and the desire was born for her. Now that you see her in the memory, while the brain is there to seeking uh, security through finding the order as it used to be, it finds her there, and therefore it triggers the memory, the file that is recorded in the memory as the prerequisites for desire to be born. And the brain thinks that all those necessary prerequisites are met again. Therefore, the desire is reborn again for your ex. That's why then you miss the ex, because now you desire her because of the sequences of events that I just explained. So the key is to continue with your new friend, find new activities in your life, the things that you're enjoying and the things you want to learn and things you want to accomplish, your new friends, such as your girlfriend, and establish and create new mechanical processes, which are the things that you do together as part of uh, creating a new routine, which creates a new order in your life. And once that new order is established, the brain doesn't need to go to the memory to find security through the memory of the order that it used to be. It finds security in the order that you have recently created in the actuality of the present moment in life. And therefore, since it has security, it seldom goes to the memory, and you will stop missing her, because then it wouldn't trigger the prerequisites for desire to be born for her, since she's also there in the memory as part of the old order. All right. Having said all that, give me a moment. Okay. Now, Mogul Production says, do you believe a single man, never being in a committed relationship, can be as happy as a man who is married? Of course, why not? Uh, Relationship and marriage, which is a man-made thing that we all uh, went through it or have accepted it as a certain destination for pursuit of a relationship, is just part of the experiences in life. But it's not the entirety of the opportunities that exist in this journey of life. It's just one. It's like many things that you love to do and you dedicate your life to accomplish. And desire for intimacy is programmed in your makeup. And therefore, it's one of the many things that you may want to pursue, but you always have a choice. So you may choose to dedicate your life in some part or major part to accomplishing that part of the experience of the journey of life, Or you may decide, no, I want to pursue, I don't know, my educational academic activities, or uh, pursuit of research of certain kind, or certain sport activities, or I want to be an expert in some, I don't know, um, whatever I'm interested in. And so you forego the experience of getting married or being in a serious relationship, and you perhaps attend to your intimate needs when it arises, is one way or another. But there is no must in regards to marriage or a relationship. So you can be as happy as you want. Many people are happy by their research and contribution, and pursuing their goals, and learning and experiencing and inventing and negotiating and producing and creating and figuring things out. And these are all uh, tantalizing and challenging projects and pursuits in life that is just brings so much happiness and fulfillment and commitment and contentment. So relationship, marriage is one of them. The difference is that hardly you will often be disappointed by the pursuit of certain research or figuring out something or inventing something or whatnot. But the relationship marriages often has undesirable results. So, as fun and exciting as it would be for a certain period of time, but it's not a permanent thing. And so, nothing is permanent in life. So, you can choose according to what suits you best and makes you feel content and better and complete. Could be relationship, could be marriage, could be inventions, research, learning, figuring out things, and contributions of different kind to mankind, society, and so on and so forth. And Xavi Gravy says, "Hi Miran, I've been following and watching your videos for quite a while now, and I must say that your videos gave me a better perspective about my breakup. Thank you. You're quite welcome. I just got off a 7-year relationship with a girl I thought who was the one. I've been beating myself about it with regret and guilt ever since, thinking I could have done more." Well, if a girl leaves you because and leaves you the impression that you should have done more for her to stay, well, it's good ridden. Let her go and never come back. Because if that's the condition that she's hanging on your head, that you are supposed to do more for me to be here, then she's not there by her own will and choice. She's there because she's trading something. She's getting something from you, so she's willing to give back in response to what she's getting as a transaction. But if she's there and trying to see what she can do for the relationship, for you and herself, that's free will. That's her intention to want to make something and stay. It's not a negotiation. It's not a barter deal. When she comes out and says you should have done more, then you say, well, okay, the more is finished. I don't have any more. So you may go and find other resources that can feed you your unrelenting and um, capacity of expectations. So you can pack up and have your journey by yourself or with someone else, not me. You're not supposed to be the entertainer. You're not an entertainment center for your girlfriend. You're not supposed to feel responsible for her entertainment and happiness, to have a reason, an excuse for her to stay with you, be with you, and provide the pleasures or the experience that you expect from a woman in a relationship with you. If that is the case, then she's not the right girl. So that's what I have to say about that. Now, he continues. By the way, I would like to know what your credentials are. Let's see if maybe you expressed it. But in every question, I would like you guys to let me know, because then I don't have to look for it. And yeah, I need to know age, gender, and where you're tuning in from. That gives me some information about who you are, where you are, and so on. And there you are. 29-year-old. 29-year-old from where? And what are you, man, woman? I guess you're a man from your uh, story here. But I'd appreciate it if you could all just give that in 3 little codes: age, gender, where you're tuning in from, and then your questions. And in every question, include those 3, like I don't know, 29, Japan, or whatever. Just 3 little things. And he says, I've been focusing on myself for doing better and working on myself. My only problem is the resentment. Is there any way to let go of resentment and anger towards her? I want to free myself from it. Yes, there is, but this is not the forum for it, because it's not a 5-minute discussion. I need to ask you certain questions. We need to go back and forth. We need to interact um, in real time, so I can get to know the stuff that I need to know, and then we'll discuss it together. So if you like, you're welcome to go on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com. www.mindthatseekstruth.com, and make an appointment for 1 hour for Skype consultation. And I will add another 30 minutes to it, so we'll have an hour and a half. Plenty of time, ample time to get to know the situation and discuss what's concerning you one-on-one on Skype. And he says, I also feel like I can't trust anybody anymore. Well, that's a normal feeling. Once you break up with someone, you won't feel you are in a mood to trust anyone, because this story is redundant. This is not 1 or 2 women in the world who do these things. Most women are engaged in these sort of behavior and assessment of a relationship, interaction in a relationship. And it's gone around. The story has gone around. People have come to know about it through all the stories that's shared personally with each other or on internets and forums like this. People have gotten to know that they can't expect such seriousness or loyalty in a serious relationship with women. And of course, this is not taken away from the incompetency of many men and dishonesty of many men and mistreatment in a serious relationship by many men's behavior and conduct. But we're talking about women in this particular case. So it's not about siding with this or against the other one. It's something that is more often noticed. Women change their mind for no real good reason, only for the reason they found a better pasture. That they're looking for provisions, they're looking for situations, and even though they may be involved seriously in a relationship with their chosen selected man, they would still, on a dime, could change their mind and go and break up that relationship and go somewhere else with someone else, not because that person is necessarily better than this person characteristically or things that they have in common, but perhaps for things that is important for most women, which is provisions, comfort, and security in the way of financial and other things such as psychological security, which is unattainable, but we still pursue it. Like the attention they receive and the gift they receive and the egos that they're going to be fulfilled. So women are very susceptible to these shortcomings. In most cases, not all women. They're amazing, amazing women, powerful, educated, content, wise, reliable, responsible, educated, and all that. But we're talking about the majority of women, for one reason or another, which we can't get into it, so many reasons. But that's what has been expanding throughout our universe as far as the relationships are concerned. Mostly are women who initiate breakups and mostly don't have real good reasons other than uh, better provisions and pastures and conditions are found somewhere else for them. So, not that their man was at any fault. These are all mostly psychological and could have to do with the backgrounds and so on. But again, those are other topics that we can discuss in a different time and a different day. So the advice would be that you see it for what it is. People are free, and you want to be with a woman who is free to make her decisions. And so if she makes a decision to be with you, it's on her free will, her selection, her choice, and not for any particular tangible reasons. It's for emotional, and that's where you can rely on the reliability and responsibility and commitment and the longevity of that relationship when it's by her choice and not for certain tangible something. And so see it for what it is and understand it and respect her choice for whatever reason it is. She doesn't want to be with you anymore. That's fine. And you're a man, you're a gentleman. You're supposed to understand, respect that. It doesn't matter why a woman breaks up with you. It really doesn't matter. What is important here is something that you should not miss. That as a man, as a strong man, as a gentleman, as a powerful man, you will respect her choice of not wanting to be with you for whatever reason. Doesn't matter why. What matters is that you respect, accept, and allow her to exercise her prerogative, her choice, and move on. That's it. That's when you regain your powers, your manhood, your values, that you protected women even against your own selfishness or your own desires. That's when you become that man that you are. And whether she knows it or not, she missed a very good man. And that's how you should conduct yourself in life. Not to be whether, oh, she doesn't want me. So what? Who is she? Another biological entity that has got no magic or no ability to cure anything of your health or your situation or your challenges in life. She has to get up in the morning, wash up her face, and do her business in the bathroom and go about her work and job and make life ends meet. So she's no angel, she's no nothing. Her power is sourced in your desire for her. So, in other words, the source of her power and importance isn't you. You are the source of her importance. Your desire for pleasure, that she's able to facilitate that pleasure for you, is the source of her power. She seems amazingly desirable to you and important to you and valuable to you because your desire for her, not because she's done anything on her own that has changed the world or changed your life. Nothing. None. So the source of her power and importance and value is actually in you. You're her source of power and value. If you can see that, that means when you take your desire away and give it to somebody else, someone else becomes that important. No longer she's important because the source of her powers and importance is in you, is in your desire for her. Many women make the mistake of when a man expresses his attention or emotions towards her, they think they're so amazing and important. They became amazing and important because this man actually extended, expressed that desire to be with her. And if he takes that desire to be with her and gives it somewhere else or just takes it away, she no longer is as valuable to this man as she thought she is on her own. It's not on her own, it's our desire that makes things valuable. Is it your, is it Is it the apple that is important, valuable on its own by itself? Or is it your hunger that makes the apple so important, valuable, and desirable? So the power for the apple to be so important, powerful, and desirable is in your hunger. And that's yours, your hunger. So you are the source of importance for apple. Same thing for a woman. Take that desire, put it somewhere else. That becomes your world, an important, valuable woman. If you understand that, then a woman who says breaks up with you, she actually broke up all that power that she has. But then nothing happens to you because you still own that desire. You still have that desire that you can lend it and bestow it for safekeeping to someone else. Okay. Now, having said that, hopefully that will help you out. Mubin True says 19-year-old male from Australia, right? It says, I've been suffering for 3 years, and yet I realized I became completely submissive to all the female. Like deep down, I know the truth that all these feelings are thoughts or tricks. Have I missed something here? Part of your says, but I'm also scared when I face female, as I believe that they think of me as a weak person and make fun of me. The same for males. Is this part of HOCD? And I mean, if I get rid of it, will I go back to my old manhood that I had before HOCD? I'm such, I'm just not feeling the old me as this HOCD got into me. Well, you know that I have hundreds of videos on HOCD and what it is and how it behaves. And if you watch them, you'll be clear that your manhood hasn't gone anywhere. It's like saying, I have a hard time seeing the ocean and the trees and the beauty of the nature and the birds flying around and all that that is out there. So I wonder if I could, if they could get back. Well, they're still there. The reason you can't see them so clearly is not because they haven't gone anywhere. It's because your glasses are not clean enough. They're foggy. They got stuff that distracts you from seeing it clear what's already out there. So clean up the fog, clean up the debris from your glasses, from the window, and everything that has always been there is still there and becomes clear to you. So what you're going through with HOCD is like it's clearing debris, is creating debris and fog and makes that what you see through a little bit unclear because of its distraction. distracting you from your focus. That's all. It's like you're trying to see this movie or this scenery, and there's so many music and construction sound and different activities and people talking, and that movie is still going, that scenery is still the same, but you just can't enjoy and focus it because there's so many distractions. So your job is not wondering where did that scene or where that movie went. It's still there, being broadcasted, and it's still there as it ever was. You just got to get rid of the distractions and be able to get those group that are playing the trombone or whatever it is out of the room, and move these people who are talking about politics and garbage and fighting out of the room. Turn the radio off, get the music and the construction people, shut the hell those um, equipments down, and you'll see, everything is clear. Everything is there. I'm good. So your business should be learn about what HOCD does, what it is, how it behaves, and how to treat these intrusive thoughts and how to react to them. And through that, you rewire your brain, which is able to get rid of all these distractions and clear out the debris and the fog and the window and the glasses. And things become clear, and you'll see that your manhood hasn't gone anywhere. It's always been there. It's just been just distracted and, covered up. That's all. All right. So go on my channel, search engine, and put in HOCD. You'll see hundreds, literally hundreds of videos. And then you choose the titles. There are two very important playlists. One is called Intrusive Thoughts, Transient Thoughts, OCD, HOCD, Negative Thoughts. And the other one is Intrusive HOCD, Intrusive OCD, HOCD short videos. One of them talks about interpretation of thoughts that comes to your head and explains that, the first playlist. The second playlist is not talking about interpretations of the words and the thoughts that show up into your brain. It talks about the separation between brain and you, that you're not the brain, brain is not you, and brain is an apparatus. Its job is to make thoughts, and it makes thoughts regardless of what it is. It doesn't know what it is. It's not intelligent. Brain is not intellect. It's just a machine that makes thoughts. If you understand this and the separation between brain and you, that you're not the brain and brain is not you, then you will be free from all these nonsense, and you'll be able to see it through and then help the brain to rewire itself, plus understanding the equipment malfunctions, such as amygdala being overactive, striatum area having the caudate nucleus malfunctioning, basal ganglia, and all the connection between all the components in the brain and the psychological and all the other reasons that I've explained in all the videos becomes apparent to you what HOCD is, how it behaves, and how you can rewire it through neuroplasticity and understand your psyche and understand the mechanism of the brain, and then be able to understand, it's an equipment and it's malfunctioning. But I'm not malfunctioning. The equipment is. So the hell with it. I understand it, recognize it, and call it for what it is, and I go about my own intentions and focus. And in this way, I rewire this glitch. So, and you can always make an appointment with me on Skype, mind@seekstruth.com. Make a 1 hour appointment. I'll add another half an hour, and we'll discuss what's concerning you and your questions one-on-one on Skype. And user 22, I must be Christoph from Germany. Good evening, Mariana says. Good evening, says the player. And the player tribe says, do you remember me? Somewhat I do. I had Skype call with you before. before. David Klobuchansky. I have to look at the Skype script. It must have been a long time ago, right? Ah, there it is. I can see that. I think the last time we talked was May 14th. Yeah. And you were graduating on 15th of May, I believe. Yeah. I don't remember the rest of our conversation because it's so many people I talk with, but I do recall something. Says, I'm doing a lot better. Thank you for you. Okay, my pleasure. Great. I'm delighted to hear that, David. And Kazavi Gravy says, age 29, Philippines, male. Sorry. Okay, no problems now. You got it. And Kuro says, male 26, California. Says, will you be available today? What time is it? 2:18. Yeah, depending on what time you have in mind, I could have a spot or two still left today after my. Just let me know what time you have in mind. And Magul Productions sends 20 CHF. It says, thank you for sharing your wise words and advice with us. Only found your channel recently, so a lot of video to catch up, especially related to masculine energy and letting go. And that's a Swiss franc, isn't it? I think that's a Swiss franc, and that means you're from Switzerland, are you? Anyhow, thank you very much for supporting the channel, and I appreciate and delighted that you found the channel. Hopefully, it'll be helpful to you. Always remember, guys, mind@sixtruth.com. It's only one step away from talking to me in person, one on Skype. Whether it's a breakup, relationship challenge, or something to do with OCD, HOCD, substance of OCD, we'll discuss what's concerning you one on Skype. Kaz says, hello, Meran. How much should someone hold back in relationships? I often feel like I overshare my thoughts and feelings, and it leads to my girlfriend backing away. Well, that is typical of many people when you okay. So hang on. Where was I? I had a little Skype message, so I had to respond to that. Magul or Mogul Production says, yes, Swiss francs and from Swiss. Yes, okay. Yeah. And my father used to live in Switzerland. He was a international lawyer, and he had different clients, and for a while he lived in Switzerland, and he always spoke highly. He loved Switzerland. He liked it. And when he came to Canada, and he said, "Oh, it looks like Switzerland, but a little bigger." I spent a day in. I went from Mannheim to Switzerland. I think it was. I remember which side was it? The German side. Anyhow, I spent a day and I had some stuff to do, and I enjoyed the day. It was very nice. The train ride was nice too, and the whole Platz in the area of the business area was very nice. I had a schnitzel test, I believe, on that day in one of the cafes, a very large cafe, and lots of people sitting outside, inside. It was a pleasant. I liked it. Uh, so, um, Sizra says, "Hi, Meran. Good to see you. Hope you're healthy. Thank you very much. I do my best. I try to eat healthy. I try to have my 1 hour cardio workout, uphill walk, sometimes in the jungle, sometimes in the uphill streets. And I try to have my weight training workout almost every day, if not 4 to 5 times a week. And I enjoy that. And so I do my best. The older we get, the more we should try. And Omar Rashid says we choose the pebbles and make it special from the other. Thank you, Miriam. You're quite welcome, Omar. Thank you for being here. And Savy Gravy says, thank you so much for the insight. I might consider setting an appointment when able. Thank you so much. You're quite welcome. My pleasure. And we have Basic Concept says, I'm from India. I'm 23. Feel bad for my color because of racism in India. Who gives a shit? Don't worry about other people's problem. If they have a problem with your color, that's on them. You are the most unique person in the world, whatever color, creed, age, gender, mentality, whatever you have, you're unique. So don't give a shit about what other people's problems are. Racism is not your problem, it's the person who's a racist problem. We all have different colors. Well, what does color mean? I don't understand. Color does not represent your value as a human, your smarts, your intelligence, your education, your way of dealing and interacting with other people, how fair and how cordial and how compassionate, how caring and how balanced you are. What does that mean? If that was the case, then all the white people or yellow people or black people or brown people would all be one way or the other because of their color. But the color is not the determining factor in what kind of human we are. It's all just bullshit that some weak people created that sort of a behavior in order because of their fears and incompetency and to control people. So, in other words, in short, in a very scientific way, I can say, fuck them all. Pardon my French. Uh, all right, all right, all right. Let's go to All right. So Cass says, hello, Marin. How much should someone hold back in relationships? I often feel like I overshare my thoughts and feeling, and it leads to my girlfriend backing away. Well, that's not on you. That's on her lack of appreciation for honesty and a flowing of the emotion. And if a person can only feel valuable when she cannot attain what she's hoping to attain, that means she will never find happiness because she will quickly dislike what she was pursuing to give her value. And when she arrives to that, she dislikes it. So she will never see the happiness and contentment that she's looking for. The attention that she's looking for, finds it so pleasant and important. As soon as she receives it, she backs away. That means she will never get the full extension, feeling, and benefits of that what she's seeking, which is the attention and love and courtesy and all that. So she's like a broken apparatus that she can't function. She says, "Could you please give me that cake?" When you give her the cake, she throws it out. That's mentally broken psychology. That means lack of confidence in what she pursues. As long as she hasn't received it, she pursues it. But once she gets it, she doesn't want it. Why? Because she doesn't want herself. She doesn't believe in herself, not in you, because she had good sense of seeing the value in you when she didn't have you to pursue you. But once she gets what she pursued, she can't say that I'm wrong all the time. She saw the value, so she decided to pursue, and she pursued you. But once she gets what she pursues, she loses interest. Why? Because she doesn't believe in herself to believe in her choices. That is a mental problem, lack of confidence and self esteem, not devaluation of yours, not any fault of yours. It's her glitch. Let her fix it. If she can't fix it, she can go, because otherwise you'll be oscillating by someone who is not really clear what she wants, what she doesn't want. These sort of people always want what they don't have. Once they get what they have, they lose interest in this, but not because that thing becomes evaluated in time, because they simply don't have value for their own judgments. They don't believe in themselves. So whatever they choose, as long as they haven't received it, they pursue it. Once they get it, they don't believe in their selection because they don't believe in themselves, in their sovereignty, in their decisions. And that is a flaw that you simply want to know the sooner you can. So you stay away from it. All right. Okay. Looks to me we don't have any more questions. So, guys, if we don't have any more questions, then I guess we can wrap it up. So it's time for me to say thank you very much for being here. I love you all. Thank you very much for being here, giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. I look forward to our next live stream. In the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mind@seekstruth.com is making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon.